Thanks for choosing to listen to this Late Night Linux Family podcast. We're only able to do this because of the people who support us. None of our shows are paywalled, but our Patreon supporters can get most episodes early and never hear any ads. Learn more at latenightlinux.com/support or support us by telling a friend or colleague about everything we do.
Hybrid Cloud Show, episode 59. I'm Aaron.
I'm Gary.
I'm Sean.
And I'm Shane.
Welcome to the show about public cloud, private cloud, and everything in between. Our views here are ours and not those of our employers. So Joe's taking a summer break, and so this episode, we're going to do a shorter episode. Just one question for all of you, which is, what is the tool that you value most in your IT tool belt? And this is a question that we are going to answer, but also the 2.5 admins team are going to answer without conferring. So it could be interesting to see the differences.
If I had to ask the people that I used to do IT for, they would 100% say he could fix the printer. They have no idea how, but that's like the most important thing to them because they're a bunch of lawyers and that's all they cared about. Personally, I think the thing that's most important to me, that I really value the most, is actually just Linux. Just, I know how to use Bash. I know how to use the terminal. And if I can string a couple of commands together, I can get some really cool magic. And it serves me well not only in like a DevOps, like admin role, but also as a developer and understanding how to build a container, because that's just all Bash all the way down, and how to build things from source. And those are all things that I learned just by using Linux.
I'll let you away with what was a very loose answer there, Sean.
I think computers are the best thing in my tool belt.
I'm the best thing in my IT tool belt, yeah.
I sort of cheated with this one. I use Atwin, which is like a distributed way of like having a bash history. So I said, hey, what are my my commands I use the most based on my whatever lines of history we've got in my shell. And obviously came up with ls first, but I feel like that's a bit of a cheaty answer. But the second biggest one that I use is kubectl. And that's weird considering when I started this podcast, I was like, why would you ever use anything but AWS? It's amazing. It does everything. And now I'm like, I use kubectl more than I use CD or Git, which is weird. So maybe it's just that, just based on usage.
Well, I think for me, it's just generally infra as code tooling. And again, it's a little bit of a cop-out answer, but I don't think that I could have done most of the projects that I've done in the last 10 years repeatably and at scale without having some idea of infra as code or config management. So probably Terraform, Ansible, Chef, insert other tools here. Like just that generic category of tools, I think is probably the most important thing to me at this point.
That was, to be fair, what I thought all three of you were going to say, so I'm glad somebody did.
Well, I'm glad those two didn't, because I'd have been really stuck if they'd gone first.
Can't believe I got away with Linux.
At least I picked something semi-specific.
I was thinking along the same sorts of lines as you, Gary, that I would probably just say documentation, which I know is ridiculous. But on the other hand, it's certainly something that I didn't used to do anywhere near as much of. And now I keep notes of everything that I do so that I can find out again when I come to the same problem, how I solved it last time.
I'm so disappointed in all of your answers. Linux, IAC, and documentation. Can you be any more vague about this? Like, if you ask a carpenter, he'd say a hammer, not like books, probably. Like, fine, pen and paper. That's the best tool I've got.
To be fair, I would have said sandpaper. So,
I mean, a computer is quite helpful.
I'll give you an answer that's not just statistically what I use the most. I think probably piping ludicrously is incredibly helpful. The ability to just chain piles of commands and pipe stuff from one thing into each other and munge around data or output or input is probably realistically, shamefully maybe, the thing I depend on the most really day to day as a tool, right? Like it's a tool that cuts across all tools the way I use them. So that's something I find very, very helpful, which is kind of a bit like Sean's cheaty answer, but, you know, try to be a bit more specific.
It's not as cool as Gary's approach of everything being infrastructure as code and blowing away environments and never using SSH. But when I do have to SSH into machines, I do find that having learned how to use something like tmux or all of the other split screen terminal things of your favorite ilk, but any of those where you're not just using screen or logging in and doing something in a single session, I find hugely useful and really helped me once I started using them.
I must confess that I think I've used tmux once in my life, and I'd have to Google it if I want to do it again.
What do you use, Sean, to have multiple terminals?
I open up a new window or a new tab or whatever.
Yeah, generally that's what I've always done, is I'll just open another SSH session. I mean, I'll use screen or something if I want to leave something running in the background, but nothing particularly advanced. If I want to do two things on one box at once, then I just open a new SSH connection to it. Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe I should be using tmux or something.
No, that's fine. I've used it so much, I forget how to live without it, basically. Although the screen shortcuts are something that I will remember till I die, basically.
Like Vim controls. Like, I don't even know how I learned them. I just know them.
Exactly.
Well, that is certainly an episode that is short enough to keep Joe's editing down, but we'll be back in 2 weeks with an episode that's the normal length for you to enjoy. If you've got any questions or comments in the meantime, please send those in to show@hybridcloudshow.com. I've been Aaron.
I've been Gary.
I've been Sean.
And I enjoyed a normal length.
See you later.